All right, guys, welcome to another edition of Foreign and Domestic. You guys all know me, Crazy Scotsman, and we have Allen BePro, and we have us a decent-sized panel tonight, so this should be interesting. Joey, before you say a fucking word, shut the fuck up. Allen, would you like to do an intro?
He's gone ninja on us.
All right, we have Phil M. Rivers. Would you like to do an intro, brother?
How you doing? I'm not doing much on the channel on YouTube right now. I did a couple VRs, looking at the VidMe account, trying to get that moving. So, because YouTube just seems to be shutting everything down anymore. So pretty soon they won't let us do this anymore.
I appreciate you coming on, man. Insight Freedom, would you like to do an intro?
Hey, same thing here. Spend a lot of time over on VidMe. Still spending time on YouTube, not giving up. A lot of time playing around with this new little gun. Having fun.
Awesome. Good job. Daniel, God is my judge.
Daniel's not here. This is just in case Hunter. I got tired of YouTube. I'm going on strike of YouTube. I'm not going to go there anymore. They sank my U-boat. And that's all I got to say.
Well, appreciate you showing up, buddy. All right, so let's get this rocking and rolling. Alan, what you got to start off the chat, brother?
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is say, there's been a couple worldly events. We have had a couple of earthquakes across the world. We had one in the United States in Northern California. I believe it was a 4.3. At this point, I don't know much more at all about that, but we have also had one in Iran, Iraq. That one, to this point, I believe, has taken 450 souls or so. We have had a number of earthquakes, and I think it's all because Joey showed up to the chat.
It's the way I roll, bitch. I destroy shit.
So with that, Joey, since we are 3 minutes in, would you like to do an intro?
Sure.
All right. So anyway,
that's all you need to know.
Go ahead, Joey.
Joey Cuz, basically, you could go look me up on VidMe or YouTube and just tell me to shut the fuck up like everybody else does.
Perfect. Fantastic.
I'm easy.
We know. So does Eric. So does everyone else on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that. We all know.
Yeah, well, I figured that, you would try to tell people why your beard's so pointed. It's always from me, yanking on it.
You gotta have something to grab onto.
I know.
For those that just don't know, we give Joey a lot of crap, and it's only because he deserves it.
I'm from New York, so it's just always a punchline.
Not the punchline we want, but it's there.
Hey, just remember, you invited me, so it's all your fault.
Apparently, you got lost in the email trail and showed up, so.
Yeah, hopefully that wasn't one of those accidentally on purpose things, but I never actually had that much trouble understanding Joey. But then again, I do know how to speak a number of different dialects. His particular dialect isn't that different from some of the people that I have spoken with. I think they were the Pygmies in New Guinea. But I never understand a word that he says. No, I'm just kidding. I never have a problem listening to Joey, other than yeah, everybody else seems to think that it's that much of a problem, and I have subscribed to peer pressure.
Hey, peer pressure is always the best. I've always gotten by it.
Pretty much how it rolls, man. With you, everyone knows, and everyone knows what to say.
Hey, just think of it this way: every time you tell me to shut the fuck up, you put the hashtag in it. People get to know my channel. It's a free advertisement. That's the way I look at it. Bingo.
Joey, I can hear you and I can understand you, but there's just something lost in the translation between the ears and the gray matter. Help me out with that, will you?
Unfortunately, Joey is unable to help you out with that at the moment, Daniel. We'll just go ahead and jump off the Joey boat here.
I think we've had enough of a train wreck 6 minutes in.
We can get back to Joey later. There's plenty to go around.
Yeah, there is. There's plenty of Joey. We need to get Jerry on here one time, too. You and Jerry, and then also Bald and Curious. Dude, that'd be a hell of a show.
Really? The three of us? Freaking everyone's heads would explode on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but me and Alan wouldn't have to talk. We can just sit here and watch you guys talk.
That's one of the good things about when you have Coda Boy on the show. Does a really good job at keeping topics rolling. He's still showing as one of the participants. We got a number of people out there. Amanda H, she about deserves a blue wrench. Curious Yellow Solar, Fu Lee, Keith Gregory, Robin Jones, Scotty M, and Sten Olch. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm terrible at pronunciation. Well, I could be worse. I guess I could be Joey. But yeah, we got quite a few people out in the chat at the moment. Good to see everybody there.
So while we have Daniel on, Daniel, have you been practicing your pistol shooting, buddy? How's that going for you?
No, right now I am just shooting my bow, and I'm trying not to make as much noise as possible out in the woods because I am bow hunting right now. And if you've seen the pictures of those deer I'm after, you know why I'm not shooting my pistol right now. Just being honest on there. I got pictures right behind my house of 2 booners. But I have loaded 700 rounds of 9mm as soon as the season's over, or I get one of the booners.
Good deal, good deal. I'm sorry it's not an exciting chat, guys. If you didn't know, I was gone last few days at Fallmageddon, and I am absolutely exhausted. It was a long trip, a long weekend. Lots of shooting, lots of fun. Lots of good people, lots of 50 BMG going off without BePro. And yeah, it was good times, good times.
Yeah,
if you hadn't seen it yet, Crazy Scotsman showed a video of him shooting the 50. He had already said prior on TR's chat last night that he was very focused on getting on the gun and getting himself lined up and getting and everything that you really think about, and forgot one step. Bro, I have made the same exact mistake, except I was a little bit caught off guard on when I needed to fire. Was instructed that I had Tango down range and Pro on, and did not have my eye relief set right for that 50. It came back and plugged me. It's running down my face. I just reached up, put my BePro on, and started to get back on target. Felt like an absolute fucking dumbass, but nevertheless, you're not the first one to do it, Scotsman.
And if you watch my video and you'll see it, it's hilarious. I get set up just like you were saying. I pull the trigger and it's kind of like an instant, oh shit. I slowly put the gun down. And I slowly go one ear at a time.
Yeah,
And everyone's just like, no fucking way. But it was more concussion than anything else, honestly. It didn't really hurt that bad at all. It was just straight up concussion, just like, holy shit, did that really just happen?
Yeah, you tried to hide the look of surprise on your face when you did that.
I think I did it pretty good though.
Nah.
As soon as you see the hand go up to the one ear, it's just like, oh shit, he really just did that.
Yeah, I knew that had to hurt.
But I will say this, I was straight up still a badass and kept on shooting. I didn't walk away like a little pussy.
Well, you couldn't hear, so what the hell was the point? You might as well have just kept going.
Exactly.
Well, has anybody else on the panel shot without ear pro accidentally and have a story to tell about it inside? I see you nodding.
Not a good one. Yeah, just even with the 5.56, and I didn't shoot. I was standing next to it talking to somebody else, and the guy next to me started shooting, and it was about a 2-day ring.
Poof.
Yeah, not good. Muzzle brake, not competent. It was bad. It hurt. I kept on shooting too, but I'm not saying I was as much of a man as Scotsman, but I kept shooting too. Because, hell, it's better than what else I could do, shooting.
Oh, I got a story. It is a sad story. When I was first dating my then girlfriend, now wife, she never was around guns at all. And the first thing I told her was never turn your back on the gun, no matter who's around. And she had my Ruger, and she's out there. She weighed $1.05, and she's shooting this thing, just going to town. What she didn't know is I put one of those bullets in my pocket, and it started to rain. And we had shotguns, rifles, pistols, and everything there. And she goes back behind me, getting the guns out of the rain, and she turned her back to me. That was her second mistake. First mistake was dating me. But I let that 44 Magnum loose. I just heard 2 screams, and one's my dad at the top of the hill rolling on the ground laughing, and the other one was my wife hitting the ground after, she flew up in the air about 5 or 6 feet, and it scared the hair off of her head. I mean, she was wearing this white, and there's just hair all over the thing. Although, what can I say? It was like, told you not to turn your back. And she has never turned her back on me since.
So I'd say that's a lesson learned.
Well, and in the environment that they were in there at the farm, if you cannot tell, it is an extremely safe environment. It is put together specifically in a safe manner. So, and everybody's a range officer, even though there's somebody there that is specific designated. Everybody's the range officer. If you see something going bad, something wrong, you say something. On Scotsman's particular delivery of that 50 cal, not only did he not notice it, but nobody else noticed it. It was just a fluke. But stuff like that happens.
And just like you say, it does happen. All the guys were like, dude, we were all filming you. How did we not notice that? And I'm like, the fuck if I know, but fuck it happened already.
No, that's not what you said. I got to correct you. That's not what you said. You said what? Huh?
The funniest part of it is so I was partially deaf in my left ear, and I say was because when I shot that thing and it went off, it actually cleared up a little bit of my deafness in my left ear.
So you're saying it
Sounds
knocked the
more
hearing
like-
back in you?
Pretty much, yeah.
All it did is knock the rock loose into the middle. That's
Pretty much. It's in there somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it's there. So, Joey, what the hell's been going on with you, asshole?
What's that?
What's been going on with you, man?
Nothing much. Just put together that new my new setup, that AR-15, and that's basically it. Just did a video on it, so you guys, if you want to check that out, but not now. Hopefully, get that to the range soon. Try it out. Make sure it works.
How's that SKS you got? You've been out to the range with that yet?
No, I'm gonna do a try to do it both in one trip. I took that down and spent about another 2 hours cleaning the Cosmoline out of the inside of it. Basically, they sent it to the shop and it was cleaned on the outside. As soon as you took that thing apart, it was just covered. So hopefully, I got everything out of it and we'll try it out and see what happens.
What's the easiest and best way for people that just don't know out there? What's the easiest and best way to clean out that Cosmoline?
I looked on the internet and basically they said I use mineral spirits, but from what I was looking at, they basically said any type of a petroleum-based substance like kerosene, gas. I mean, the mineral spirits work the best. I took like a bucket, dumped the parts in it, and I took like a paintbrush and just basically wiped everything off with the paintbrush. And it came right off.
So just kind of like Joey's saying, the best thing you can do is mineral spirits. Mineral spirits is the best thing. If you have a vat of some sort where you have enough room and you can actually take the gun apart, drop it in there, and just cover it, that is the easiest way to clean up those guns.
Yeah, like I said, it took about 2 hours to do the rest of it, but going through with a brush trying to get everything out of like all the small little crevices, even on the inside of the stock still had some.
Yeah, it is a nice looking gun though.
Yeah, good looking. God, that stock's amazing.
Yeah, supposedly it's unissued, so it looks. I mean, I couldn't get a good picture of the rifling, but the rifling is like it's all there. It doesn't even look like it's even been shot.
Now, would
that's a great looking piece, Joey. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That thing's beautiful. I'm not big on milsurps, but that thing is lovely.
Yeah, I found that by accident.
Is the bayonet mount not a problem in New York? Out of curiosity, is the bayonet mount?
For something like that, no, but you can't have it on an AR. You actually have to have the bayonet lug, taken off. But for some strange reason, that's perfectly fine. Why? Who the hell knows?
Yeah, I like the SKSs though.
I've shot Jerry's once, and that was probably about like 3 years ago. But everything else that they had around in this area was just the stocks were shit. Just the way the rifles look weren't even that nice. This was just, I couldn't even believe that I found that one.
Yeah, back in the 90s.
To answer the redneck prepper real quick, last was filmed. I did film a couple videos for him. I emailed them to him, and he will probably be posting those up as soon as his slow-ass internet lets him. But he actually did the 4-gun, and he did the pistol course, and he did actually pretty good. So Les is a great guy. If you don't know Les, Papa's Place, go check him out. Awesome dude, reloader. You got any kind of question, he's kind of like C-Max. You ask it, they'll answer it.
Do you hear the crickets? I'm hearing crickets in the background. I'm just really enjoying reading the side chat here. I mean, I've got Amanda and Robin going now.
Yeah. Oh crap! Now we got Mrs. Scab up in there.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna get outnumbered here, guys. It's time.
You see what happens? You give women the vote, then they get a driver's license.
Oh,
Then
boy.
you take them out to the gun range, and they start buying guns.
Yeah, good job, dude. Good job. Yeah.
Okay, and then they cut into
Don't
they
worry,
start to
folks.
buy guns.
We have some control on this chat. Not a lot, but we have some.
No, you just ruined it for me. I was gonna like build up the women. How now it's like we got to buy them guns, and they're going to take over the safe and everything else. And the next thing you know, they're coming in the house with a Dillon 650.
Well, this would be the case in the Scab Ugly channel. Scab Ugly has purchased himself a weapon, and his wife took it away from him. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this is the world that we live in today, folks.
My wife shot my
Bachelor.
CZ. My wife shot my CZ 6 times, and we had to go straight to the gun store and buy her one.
Smart buy, no doubt.
And
Big
now
Johnson
I can't.
approved.
And now I can't reload on a single stage fast enough. It's feeding two beast.
So, Insight, how are you liking that MMP 2.0?
You know, I love this. I'm still messing with it. Probably 500 rounds through it so far. This trigger, and I'm putting in an aftermarket trigger, but the trigger this came with, what did I write down? It measured out, it averaged 3 pounds, 11.2 ounces. It's nice. I mean, it's not an amazing, great trigger, but it's a really good trigger. I like it. Like it a lot. And I really like these Hive extensions on here. A lot. Thanks for asking. Yeah,
that to some people would be too light of a trigger for a concealed carry. I'm not all that worried about it. I mean, for goodness sake, I carry one of the most dangerous pistols known to man.
Oh boy.
So I'm not that worried about a light trigger. What kind of trigger are you going to be putting in it?
It's by Hive. I mean, it's not going to be any different weight wise. It's no internals. It's just the trigger itself. It's an aluminum trigger, and it takes away this actuated safety in here. It's got the regular kind of dingus type safety in it. So it's just going to match the bases on there, made by the same company. It really shouldn't change anything except make the uptake a little bit shorter. That's it.
So for any new shooters out there, you want to explain that dingus safety that you're talking about?
I don't have one with me right now that has one. I've got the 1911, which doesn't have one. Speaking of too light for carry. But yeah, I don't have. It's the dingus is it's the safety. It's the trigger safety that's like a little lever that sits in the middle of the trigger. It rotates in and out. Dingus, lack of a better word.
Well, it is commonly referred to as a dingus. Some call it a thingamajigger or a doomaflotchet, but it doesn't. I don't have one on this particular weapon, but it is just a little blade that sits on the inside of the trigger shoe, and that's part of the safety. If that blade is not pushed, the trigger can't move. And so if you accidentally push the side of the trigger will not depress entirely.
I think the best way to say it is it's all about the take up, and you have to get that entire first part of take up. So the entire trigger pull goes all the way through. If you don't get that first part of take up, it ain't gonna fire off.
Yeah, basically on here, the whole center of the trigger is on the axis, and that brings it up right here in the back. So the difference is this a blade that does the same thing. So just this trigger, it actually feels pretty good. That little bit of pivoting that it does in the middle is just a little annoying. So Anybody have experience with a mushier trigger like the Taurus PT 111 G2?
All I can
No.
tell you about those guns is I've sent more of those back for repair than any other gun I can name in the last year.
I know. Lucky for me.
They are absolutely freaking horrible, and Taurus is 2+ months behind.
Oh, so you mean they're that good then?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to wait 6 months for your gun, go ahead and send it in. Now, unlike a SIG P320 where you get it back within, what, 2-3 days?
2 days! 2 days!
Wow.
So how's that working for you now since you got it back from the recall?
It's absolutely phenomenal. I've only gotten like one response on my video of a guy that said that his trigger now sucks. Everybody else that's been responding to the videos they saying that they had fast turnaround times on their P320s, but that they're enjoying the triggers. I was not expecting the trigger to be any different than it was from the factory, from originally. The only thing that I was expecting was the trigger shoe itself to look different, to be a different trigger shoe. But in all actuality, I really, really wish that I had a trigger gauge and was able to measure that thing before it went and when it came back, because it does have a lighter feel to it. It really does. It has the same amount of take up, feel to it, and it still has the crispness when you break the wall. So it's one of those things that I'm definitely recommending. If anybody's got a P320, send them.
Yeah, because I haven't sent
you're
mine
not gonna,
for that reason. Because I wasn't sure what the trigger would feel like afterwards.
yeah, everything that from mine, and now mine's got probably close to 700 rounds through it since getting it back. But mine and the majority, like I said, all but one of the posts on my video, everybody's saying that their trigger feels better. At this point, I'm almost thinking about putting a flat face trigger into it if I can find one. But I've got too many things on my plate as it is. I'm burning through money like it's going out of style.
Now, other than the work that you could physically see on the slide, did you notice anything else as far as like that little housing that what the whole trigger mechanism is?
No, actually, the frame itself is absolutely no different. The frame itself around it is absolutely no different. The only thing that's different is the trigger shoe itself. Now, one of the things that mine used to do is when it's empty, trigger and it snaps. What it used to do before it went to SIG is every time you pull it back out, it would reset.
Right.
And you could actually pull it and get an audible click and a tactile click. That's no longer there. A number of people that I've talked to said that theirs used to do the same thing.
Yeah, because mine used to do that too.
Now, the only bad thing that I have noticed, and I don't know if I can represent this on camera, and this is going to look really crazy because I have to point it at the camera. Now, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see how much this slide moves. Does it look like it moved at all? Just a touch, right? Just a hair. And yeah, that is the only bad thing that I've seen. Has it affected the shooting at all? Not in any way, shape, or form. The accuracy is just as good as it was before it went SIG. So it has not affected the accuracy in any way, shape, or form, but it does very slightly move up. And so guys that are, I don't know, trying to make 300-yard shots with their P320s or something are freaking out about that. but it hasn't affected my shooting at all.
Works for me.
So who was
Now,
it?
given I don't do a ton of accuracy shooting, unless I'm using a rifle or something, I'm not accuracy shooting. I'm point shooting, I'm defensive shooting, I'm combat shooting, whatever you want to call it. But I don't do a ton of accuracy shooting with my pistols. I have tested the accuracy on this pistol before it went to SIG, and I tested the accuracy after it got back. I have done some accuracy shooting with it, and it didn't affect the accuracy at all at about just under 50 yards. So it's something that I encourage people to do.
I would
It really
think
is.
I would think it would actually make it better if it's you're getting a crisper trigger pull.
Yeah, right after you get to the wall, the crispness is exactly as it was from the factory to me. It feels like that wall is a little bit lighter. But without having a trigger gauge, I couldn't tell you precisely, and so I really wish I had a trigger gauge. If somebody wants to send me one, more power to you.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
I didn't think so.
With that being said,
I didn't think.
With that being said, has anyone on the panel here done any kind of competition shooting or thought about competition shooting? And if so, or if not, why or why not?
Well, I'd like to, but unfortunately, I don't have a lot of places to go around here. So I do pin shoots, which is semi-competitive. So, but yeah, I wouldn't mind doing the more competitive shooting too.
Is there possibly any type of gun clubs in your area?
Yeah, there's one that supposedly does it, but I'll have to wait until next year since the weather's changing here, and I'll try and catch them next summer or in the spring when they start up.
And I want to get into the competition. That's like one of the reasons I had the Scotsman come down to start teaching me how to shoot a pistol. So I grew up shooting the long guns. And there was a question here on the side chat also. Mrs. Scab, when are you going to do the unboxing? Okay, now that's out of the way. I went around the kitchen here, and here's one of them, my wife's gun. It's an LC9. And you were talking about, the trigger pulls and the different types. I mean, I get into this because this thing, has a terrible trigger. It just stinks. I couldn't hit the outside of a barn with that. Now, this SIG 238, and it's got a laser dot on it. This thing's so small you can put it in your pocket, your front pocket, and no one even knows it's there. But with the laser, you don't even have to think about aiming. You just look for the dot, and it's got a sweet trigger. And now the winter's here, of course, I'm carrying a full-size CZ. But these here two are my wife's guns. She's got her Remy hidden in the bedroom. She sleeps with it under her pillow. She loves it so much. So for anybody out there that's thinking about buying a new pistol, you get what you pay for. Get quality. Go down, shoot it, go to a shooting range, any place where you can pick up other people's guns and shoot their bullets to find out what you like. Then save up and spend the money because it's an investment. The good guns aren't cheap, but once you have a good one, you're going to love it and you're going to love shooting more, and then you're going to want to start thinking about shooting competition. Like now, I finally got a really good pistol. It's where I want to go out and learn it. And I'm enjoying it because I'm hitting what I'm aiming at. The one, you squeeze it, you're just all over the place. The small SIG, it's okay, but you're limited to 7 rounds. There's nothing like 18 rounds in a clip and one in the tube, do 19 rounds, where you can just go out there and shoot all day and hit what you're aiming at. So now I'm getting pumped where I want to get good and do competition.
The 238 is surprisingly accurate for such a small gun.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a little tack driver.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're limited on how many rounds you can have.
The LC9, Daniel, I had one of those. I put a ghost trigger in it. I did a number of different things trying to get the uptake in it. I actually put the Galloway trigger system in it, and that helped a little bit. But what I would advise on that LC9 is trade it in on an LC9S. The LC9S Pro is one that I carry. I've been carrying the P320 since it got back from SIG, but the LC9S Pro is one that I carry, and I can shoot that thing at distance, no problem. The trigger in that is absolutely phenomenal compared to the LC9. The LC9 trigger was absolutely horrid. You got to pull that thing like all the way back to the center of your palm to get it to go off. And the reset is no better than anything else.
I mean, to hit, if you're in a defensive situation with an LC9, the only way you're going to hit the perpetrator is to jam the muzzle right into their body. I mean, it just.
So let me ask you guys this, since we have a decent panel here. Joey, you're not included in that decent part. You're just included. But since we have a decent panel, shut the fuck up. Since we have a decent panel, small gun versus full-size gun. Thoughts, pros, cons?
Well, my thought is you always want to have a full-size gun if you can, but when you're carrying concealed, you got to go with whatever's more concealable. That's why I usually go with the subcompacts. But for a home defense, I go with the full size.
That's a time of year and type of clothing, and got so many things come into play. But in the wintertime, you can get away with carrying around a 1911, or you know, that's not really more capacity, but you can carry a full size. You can carry a 19, you know, so hard to do in the summertime.
This rig right here, when you put it on, it looks like a back brace. And this is the CZSP01 in it. You wear a t-shirt and just throw a loose shirt over the top, it disappears. And anything that might show to the front of the shirt is just black, and it looks like a back brace. The only thing I don't like about it is it's a little weak. I mean, Right to Bear Customs would make something like this with leather on it, and it would protect the lower part, but also it would hold it up better. That is my idea of the perfect full-size rig where you can carry year-round.
Yeah, it's a nice setup.
So I guess it's my turn to throw in my 2 cents on this. You just heard me that Pro is one of my carry weapons. Small. It's considered a subcompact. I do shoot 9mm. I shoot it well. To each their own. Anyway, the LC9 works great in summertime when I'm not looking to carry heavy pieces. It works great for around my town. I've got a small town. Even if I'm accosted by 2 guys, I've got another magazine. Anyway, I always carry an extra mag simply because I shoot semi-autos and magazines fail. There's facts behind that. Now, I am carrying the P320. It's got quite a bit more rounds. Before I had the P320, I was carrying a Ruger 9E. That's a 17+1 weapon. Now, if I leave my small town and I go into the bigger city, I would take the LC9S off and put on the higher capacity weapon. I always carry inside waistband, so it doesn't really matter to me if it's summer or winter.
Baldwin Curious brings up a really good point. It all comes down to commitment and how you're going to carry that weapon. So most of you guys already know that 9 times out of 10, I got a revolver. Right now I have my 44 mag. But 9 times out of 10, I got a revolver on me. And everyone goes, well, you're limited on capacity. You're limited on this. Well, to some degree, yeah. But if I'm that close and I have to get in a firefight and I got to use more than what's in my gun, I'm already fucked.
That's a very valid point. That's a very valid point. We don't have all the studies on self-defense shootings, but if you actually have to pull the trigger, the studies are saying 2 to 3 rounds. Well, you're pretty well covered in a revolver in that aspect. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Most self-defense situations happen within 5 to 7 feet. 5 to 7 feet. If you can't hit someone accurately in 5 to 7 feet, you shouldn't have a gun. Period. You shouldn't. You should not have a gun. And I carry revolvers because, 1, they're badass, they look cool as hell. And 2, they're just badass. And 3, they're badass. But they're pretty awesome.
Well, and that one looks damn pretty too. That one looks good. And there's nothing more important than looking good.
That's right. You got to be tactical. What's more tactical than good old blued steel and wood grips? This bad boy is 1969 for God's sake, and she still looks like she came right out the frickin' factory. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, good wheel gun. God, they're just pretty. Everything's out there for you to see. There's nothing really much hidden in them.
Well, there's one thing that both of them have in common, whether it's a wheel gun or something that holds 18 rounds. If you don't practice with it, don't carry it. Okay, this summer I probably put 700 rounds through pistols, various pistols. And I'm just learning how to shoot. I was carrying 3 years prior to this, unable to really hit accurately. You got to be able to hit what you're aiming at, and you're responsible for where that bullet is going to be downrange.
And Daniel brings up a really good point. And not to call you out or anything, Daniel, but we worked together a little bit, and Daniel was shooting way left. So just say, for example, he gets in a self-defense situation and this other person has a hostage. Well, that hostage is on the left, and he draws his gun and goes to take care of the issue. And because of how he shot at that particular time in the moment, he shot left and he shot the hostage.
And I'm not going to deny it. No, what was it? 1 out of every 4 rounds went at least 10 inches left, high and low. Just boom, it would fly out to the left.
Yeah, it was all over the place, and it's easy to do. If you don't have someone show you something, it's very easy to screw up, because you got to deal with recoil, you got to deal with anticipation of the trigger. And if any of you guys watched the videos where I was trying to help Daniel and teach him a little bit and show him some different things, and guys, I'm not a big freaking teacher of anything, but I've had good people show me, and I can pass that along. But basically what Daniel's issue was Daniel was slapping the trigger and he was pulling it left. And it just literally took less than 2 hours to go through and show him a couple of different things. And because he was willing to learn, willing to listen and say, hey, you know what? I'm not an egotistical piece of shit. He actually stood up and said, hey, you know what? Yeah, I want to learn. I want to do better. he learned, he improved, and as you guys saw, you saw the results where he drew his groupings from way far left to straight up in the middle within a 2-inch grouping.
Well, on a side note, that's what I've found, that it's easier actually to teach females to shoot than males. Females have more of a tendency to be open to learning, where males have an ego. Well, I know how to do this. You don't need to teach me shit. But that's a completely different side note. One of the things that I'm a huge proponent on is dry fire practice, dry fire drawing. These are all things you do in slow repetitions. Do it over and over and over. I cannot endorse dry fire practice enough. Because you can practice standing at the range and taking straight shots all that you want, but if you can't get that thing out of your holster, you're SOL.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, man. I've taught multiple people over the years how to shoot, and 9 times out of 10, women listen better than men do. And it's just like you said, it's because they have that ego. But as Daniel said, as we were filming and recording and doing this stuff, working together, he's like, put that shit aside. Put it aside. Don't be a pussy. Man up. Say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I need some help. And take the help.
Yeah, I've found that women are often more trainable than men. And it is a little bit of an ego thing, and it's men have the thing where they think they know what they're doing, and women say, okay, go ahead and teach me. So it is a lot easier, I think, sometimes to teach women. But young men can be more impressionable than the older men, because I've taught scouts and stuff, and when they're 14, 15, 16, and it's their first or second time shooting, I found that they can become good shooters because they don't have the bad habits that the older shooters do.
And one thing, guys, do not try to teach your wife yourself.
Amen.
Do not do it. I mean,
So for anyone that is watching right now, and Daniel brings up a good point, Daniel already asked me a while back, the last time I was out there, to come back out and work with his wife, and for a good reason.
Yeah.
that could be a bad thing.
I agree.
I taught her how to shoot a rifle and a shotgun, and she picked it up naturally. And I am a better husband because of it, because I don't want to make her mad.
Mm-hmm.
No.
When I'm done with her, you'll be an even better husband.
Yep. Because she carries. I mean, she says she has to get a new purse because her old one with, you know, the pocket in it, it's wore out. And she's got one there. She carries one in her waist. I mean, if there was a woman, John Wayne, she's it. Now she just
Can't
has to
go
learn how
wrong.
to, well, now she just got to learn how to hit something with it.
You better learn how to run real fast, Daniel.
I can't run anymore. I just now got back on my feet this summer.
See, the problem that Daniel's going to have is I'm going to teach her in a revolver just like I taught him in a revolver. And a 357 goes way faster than Daniel can run.
Well, that plus then he's going to have to buy her a 357.
I don't know. Does CZs make 357s?
No, but we can hook her up with a 10 millimeter.
Oh.
Now, why do you want to insult a poor girl with a girl's gun?
Oh.
Oh, now. 10 millimeter. There ain't nothing wrong with 10 millimeter. We'll get into the caliber dates. All right, here we go.
No.
I will be turning
Daniel,
45 in April.
I was trying to be nice, man. I could give her a 44 Magnum all day long.
She shoots. That Ruger that we had to send back in. She shoots that thing all day long.
But see, I'll get her a reliable 44 Magnum that's not going to get sent back in, and you're going to have to run the fuck away.
I'm just glad she likes my habits and she's picked them up. Now, if you guys do
we are starting a GoFundMe for body armor for Daniel.
Hey Joey, what are you doing, buddy?
I've been actually doing a lot of research lately.
Oh no, it's your turn on the barrel. Mine's
what
done.
Is it, the Terfolios? What is it? The CZ version of the 10s right now is only the Terfolios. How do you pronounce it?
Tankfolio.
So CZ themselves don't actually make one. Tank's the CZ clone. It's nearly identical, but they've got a 10 millimeter out there that I'm drooling after. It's something that I would definitely be interested in.
Okay, would you use it as a carry gun or just use it as a competition gun?
That's actually a really good question. The fact is I would probably end up getting into competition if I was shooting that gun. I don't shoot competitively now. I've never actually shot competitively. There is some options available to me in my area to get into that, but it's something that I haven't even thought about getting into yet. For that particular weapon, I would probably end up getting into competition shooting.
Okay, so the 10 millimeter is the competition shooting, is what I do with VRs. If you're not cheating, you don't want to win bad enough. Some reason my wife keeps making VRs too.
Well, when it comes to 10 millimeter, I want the Rock Island double stack, 16 rounds of badass 10 millimeter high capacity in your face.
That sounds like a nice gun.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is. I found one for a really good price. I just gotta jump on it, and I keep helping people buy other shit, so it's kind of putting me in the back burner.
Yeah, Philo says that he never want to shoot a 10 millimeter in competition. I don't even know what class that would put me in. So yeah, it's complete speculation to me. I don't know anything at all about competitive shooting at this point.
It's a lot of time, a lot of investment in time.
Bald and Curious is out there pimping them damn grand powers.
Well, you know what, Bald? He didn't let me shoot. He didn't let me shoot his grand power. So how the hell am I supposed to know, dude? I know you let Pop shoot it, but I never got to shoot it.
He won me a pretty nice holster out of that with that grand power. I'm pretty thankful for it.
No,
yeah,
wait a minute here.
One.
I thought that was supposed to be your daughter's.
No.
Oh boy.
That was for the kids. That was the other drawing that I sent one in for her. Different drawing. 2 of them, same weekend.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Insight Freedom enters just about every drawing there is in every competition on YouTube.
And my theory has always been I never buy lottery tickets because my luck is I just throw money away when I gamble.
See, the thing is for all that don't know, Insight won at least 2 that I know of the recent giveaways. And so he's been taking a broom to these giveaways and sweeping them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next one, if I happen to get the 150 for Right to Bear, it's a pay it forward. It's already. I'm not taking any more. No more.
I wouldn't mind winning that one.
I tried to be nice and pay it forward, and I lost. I never win anything though.
You're just not paying the right people. That's what it is.
Ah.
Hey, Alan, I'll be generous. I've got my Lyman gauge here. If you want to send that 320 over to me, I'll test it for you. I'll send you my information.
Sure, if you want to send it back to Stig and have them turn it back to stock first, and then send it to Stig, have them fix it again. Yeah, well, we'll talk. We'll talk.
I might have to send you a trigger gauge.
I would like to have one. I would test everything under the sun, probably even my toilet. See what the trigger pull was on my toilet. You know.
Did you just talk about Joey?
Where the hell did that come from?
Trigger pull on a toilet. Joey, toilet, trigger pull, toilet, Joey.
Well, that's where he lives.
Yeah, the state I live in, yes.
Well, I guess that would be New Jersey.
Not in New York.
No, but I'm
Hey,
saying New Jersey's the toilet bowl.
They're both shitholes.
Yeah.
Joey, you've been pretty quiet, dude. Say something. Say something for
I
Christ's
thought he
sake.
was muted.
Oh, you guys were going good. I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Oh, jump in, dude. You got 3 minutes.
Really? You're gonna put me on? I'm not a fucking trained monkey.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry, I left my symbols in the bedroom.
And fucking crickets. All right. Anyway, Joey, shut the fuck up, asshole.
See, that's why I don't say much.
Fucking send you an invite, you do nothing. Wow. Great job, man.
Hey, I told you, you knew what you were getting in for.
So with that being said, we are coming up on the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and let this great, fantastic panel that we've had show up do their outros. Phil M. Rivers, would you like to do an outro?
Alrighty. Like to see y'all on YouTube. Check me out on VidMe. Till we meet again, guys.
All right. Well, appreciate you showing up. Really do appreciate that. It's good to talk to you, man. Insight Freedom, would you like to do an outro?
Yeah, sure. Still at YouTube. Still starting up on VidMe. Be doing some more on this. Be doing a trigger job somewhere towards the end of the week. Not a trigger job, just a replacement of the trigger. And also on Instagram. So check me out. Thanks for the support and thanks for all the advice from a lot of these guys here on this panel.
All right. Appreciate you showing up, man. You put out a lot of good information, so appreciate you. Daniel, God is my judge. Would you like to do an outro?
All right, you're going to have to excuse all the dogs barking. My son just got home. Daniel, God is my judge. I just recently went over to VidMe, but my name has changed over there. It's just in case Hunter. And Scotty, thanks for having me on tonight. And guys, it's been nice talking to you.
Hillary for prison.
And that was my son. What are you carrying? What gun are you carrying right now?
My 9.
He's okay. He's carrying his 9, not his 45.
All right. Well, I appreciate you showing up. Appreciate the support. Joey fucking piece of shit cuz. Would you like to do an outro?
Sure. You guys can find me on VidMe and YouTube, Joey Cuz on both. Check out the videos of the SKS and the AR these guys were just talking about on VidMe. And oh my God, really now you two on site? You forgot the hashtag.
You gotta hashtag that shit, dude.
It's not legit unless it's hashtagged. Oh, jeez. You showing us his ass?
Not even showing off the shirt.
Big yam.
All right. Anyway, Joey, continue.
Well,
Do a flyby for Joey.
anyway, those videos are up there, so you can check either one.
All right. Well, I appreciate you showing up, brother. Alan, you want to do a quick outro, brother?
Did he freeze up?
Allen BePro.
See, that's what happens when you shut up Joey.
Resist.
All right. So guys, I appreciate you showing up. I know Alan does too. Foreign and domestic. Obviously, I am foreign. Alan is domestic. Every other one of these bitches on the panel is a domestic. And we appreciate every single one of them. We appreciate everyone in the side panel, the side chat. Guys, you're awesome. Appreciate every single one of you guys. And thanks for watching my stupid video.
Thanks, Gossman.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And we are out.